What in the world was that about? Hey guys, I'm Darren with Emet HaTorah. Hope you guys are doing well. In just a second, you're going to find out what that was about. This week's Torah portion is Shemini. It is the third Torah portion in the book of Leviticus. And I'm going to read once again for you from our 5-Minute Torah, Volume 3. This is the last volume in our 5-Minute Torah series. And this commentary is called The Power of Silence, as I have all kinds of noise happening above me. This week's Torah reading records not only the dietary laws, but also the very first service of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. It was a time unprecedented in human history when the very presence of the Lord rested upon a physical structure created by the labor of man. But unfortunately, a horrible tragedy took place immediately after this event. Two of Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, enjoyed the presence of the Lord so much that they wanted to recreate it. They entered the sanctuary with incense and unauthorized fire in order to experience this exhilarating event a second time. And rather than being enrapturing, however, the results were disastrous. Leviticus chapter 10, verses 1 through 3 says, "Now Nadab and Avihu, the sons of Aharon or Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And fire came out from before the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. Then Moses said to Aaron, 'This is what the Lord has said. Among those who are near me, I will be sanctified, and before all the people, I will be glorified.' And Aaron held his peace." Aaron lost 2 of his 4 sons because of this incident. Many people read through this incident without any empathy for this great man who was bereaved of his 2 children. However, without empathy, we cannot realize the incredible strength and maturity in Aaron in this situation. Several translations say that Aaron held his peace. This conveys the basic concept, but the Hebrew is much more straightforward. It says that he was vayidom, he was silent. For a man who just experienced such devastation as Aaron, this shows an incredible amount of self-restraint. Why is holding our tongue so difficult? And what is so wrong with speaking our minds? According to a Jewish perspective, all human activity is expressed in one of 3 modes: thought, speech, and deed. These are called the garments of the soul, because we can choose which types of thoughts, words, and deeds we, quote, put on each day. Many people have the self-restraint to control their deeds. Few people are able to restrain and focus their thoughts. And of these 3, speech seems to be the main battleground for most people. Sometimes we put on the right garment, sometimes we don't. We must keep in mind that words are powerful. Words create, words manipulate, words connect, words convey ideas and ideals. Words bring life and death. See Proverbs 18:21. Words can take a person from one world to another by way of storytelling. The, quote, fruit of our lips is an offering of worship. Hebrews 13:15 and Hosea 14:2. This is why we must realize the power of our words and exercise restraint in our use of them. Yeshua taught us that we will be held accountable for everything that we speak. He says in Matthew 12:36 and 37, "I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give an account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned." Too often, the words leave before we even realize our mouth has opened. We must somehow find ways to heighten our awareness that this is happening so that we can gain control over our tongues. Aaron was aware of this tendency and knew that speaking in his current state would have been an error that might come back to haunt him. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, the founder of the Breslov Hasidic movement, commented on Aaron's restraint with profound insight. He said that as a child, one learns to speak, but only in maturity does one learn to be silent, and that the problem of man is that he learns to speak before he learns to be silent. Aaron had every right to throw a fit at the death of his sons, but he held his tongue. His maturity and spiritual awareness overcame his natural inclination to voice his emotional response. And because Aaron was silent in a moment that could have easily gotten the best of him, the Lord was able to open his mouth to speak a powerful word of correction to his brother, Moses, just a short time later. We read in chapter 10, verses 19 through 20, "And Aaron said to Moses, Behold, today they have offered their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord, and yet such things as these have happened to me. If I had eaten the sin offering today, would the Lord have approved?" When Moses heard that, he approved. This is the first and only time we hear of Aaron correcting Moses. Since Aaron had chosen silence as his response when fire from the Lord had consumed his sons, he was given the words to speak to Moses that would set the pattern for how any type of offering was to be consumed going forward. They should not be eaten in a state of mourning, as we proclaim when bringing our tithe to the holy temple, "I have not eaten the tithe while I was mourning," Deuteronomy 26:14. Although words are powerful, sometimes silence can be just as powerful, just as effective, and even considered an offering of praise. Take a look at Psalm 65. The next time you are at a point of outrage, remember the example of Aaron, who knew the power of silence and the damage of unrestrained speech. I'm sure all of us have stories that we can tell of the damage of unrestrained speech. We can tell of instances when we have spoken to our parents, our spouses, our children, our siblings, our friends, anyone, and did damage that we wish had not been done. So I want to encourage you to follow the example of Aaron this week. If you can focus on that, remember the inspiration of Aaron, the high priest, and his ability to have self-restraint, to control his speech, have the power of silence, to harness that power within us. I think maybe our world would be a little better place. How about you? Amen. Well, thank you guys for enjoying that. Hope you did. I want to also remind everyone that we have less than a month before Passover. Passover's coming up. It's quick. And so if you have not chosen a Haggadah for your Passover Seder, I would encourage you to take a look at our Cup of Redemption Messianic Haggadah. It's filled with all kinds of neat things. It gives you every step from what to do about what is Passover, how do we celebrate it, to how do we clean out our homes of the chametz before Passover and the ceremony surrounding that. It gives you all of the things to do, including lighting candles and the order of service, steps you each step of the way with the different components of the Passover Seder. Gives you the Maggid, the story of Passover, the telling, some of the different songs. We've streamlined this somewhat. And then in the back, we have a bunch of songs and the different, let's see, past this here. We have some songs like Manishtana, Dayenu, Eliyahu Hanavi, Ani Ma'amin, which is non-traditional, but we recommended it, and Echad Mi Yodea, and we added a new song for this version, the second edition of the Haggadah, the Maggid song, which I wrote a few years ago, and we have that posted on YouTube where you can learn it. And it's a cute little song. It helps us remember the point of the Passover. It also has some articles in the back, such as, hey, what about this egg on our plate? Is it pagan, or is it something else going on here that I don't know about? We have another article about hand washing. Is ritual hand washing something we should participate in or not? And the last article is about carpus and vinegar, why we choose to do carpus and vinegar instead of carpus or the like parsley and salt water as tradition. We do red wine vinegar. So if you have not picked up a copy of that and would like to check it out, please go to Amazon and just search for that, and it'll hit the search engines. And if you like it, please do us a favor and give us a positive review, okay? Because it helps us to get our resources seen by other people if you review them positively on Amazon. The last thing I'd ask you to do, if you haven't done already, is subscribe to this channel. Be sure you turn on notifications so that you're notified of upcoming videos. And of course, like this specific video